Oh, this is scary as hell. You've
Good
got
evening, people. Good evening. Just hang about. I'm just messing about at the minute. I just have to turn the sound off on. Right. Just have to turn the sound off on. Right. Right then. Turn the sound off on. Somebody else put the sound on. Right then. No, not your whole mute, Andy. It's just the sound on YouTube.
Yeah, no, that's what I did. That I was hoping that it would mute my YouTube.
Hey guys, I'll bring the lads in. So I've got Andy and Rich in with me tonight. They're going to be keeping an eye on the chat. I'll try and do this the way Dale and I tried it, because everybody's doing a load of chat. I think I've got quite a few people in. So if you've got any comments, any questions, I'll stop after about 10 minutes, something like that, and you can ask questions and things like this. The guys can still keep us up to date on what's going on in the chat. About halfway through, what I'm going to do, I'll be stopping when I get more people in. I'll be stopping and explaining about the links I put in the description and tell you about something that's going on tomorrow night. It's something that all of us will probably miss because we'll be watching Scott, the Blue Light Turner. But there's something going on tomorrow night that we're going to be that I'll explain about anyway. Right, I'll just change camera so you can see what I'm going to be doing. I'll stick you guys in the background if you don't mind.
Cool. Yeah.
Right, so what I've got there is a piece of ash. It's around about 12 inches in diameter by 2 inches thick. I'm going to be doing like I usually do, a very plain bowl, finishing it off, flipping it over, straightening off the top, and then we're going to be doing the Waterdrop paint effect on this. I can't do this all in a wanna because the water needs to evaporate. So there is going to be a blueprint moment where I've already done one and I'll get that finished off. Right, guys, do you want to let us know who's in the chat?
Absolutely. We have let's start at the top. We have Eva, we have Jeff, we have Dale, Maple Tree Studio, Stay Snakes, Jeff PBH, John PBH, beg pardon, sorry John, my apologies. Sneaks, we got Nick.
Right, has anybody got anything else turned on in the background?
Nope.
I can certainly hear something.
It might. Let me just go and get my headphones because you might be getting a bit of interference from me. So if I pause it,
Silent.
That's it. We're not getting anything now, Rich. So
yeah, okay. I'll go and get my headphones.
From you.
I'll get my headphones.
Cool. I'll carry on. We've got Herb, Hooper. We've got Mike, the Midnight Joker, Wayne, Bigfoot, Woodcraft, and Val. Ooh.
Oh, Joy's in. The noises, Joy. That was something coming from Rich's end, so he's just got to put his headphones on.
Fingers is in. David McLennan, Rubber Dub, Wood. Keep going. I'm getting there, peeps. Mike Koldinsky, James Cassidy. There's so many of you people. Chris Cook.
Yeah, I think I saw Martin. I saw coming in. Real 999. Adrian.
Yeah.
No, right, guys. I'll get started. So I'm going to be turning this at around. Well, what speed am I going at?
Whoa! Wow, there's loads.
Just over 1100. I'm going at. I'm getting a bit of shadow there from the. Right. I was getting a bit of shadow there from the overhead camera. I'll bring the overhead in a bit later on. Or Steve's just come in as well. Right, here we go. I'm just going to get the edge rounded off to start off with.
Adrian, the CFR Turner, also in. Glyn Senior's in.
Adrian's in. Oh, just for a little bit more there to get.
When I'm mentioning your name, take that as a hello as well. So, hi. Martin at Woody Creations. My, that's a big piece of wood you got there, Wayne.
No, it's only about 12 inches diameter.
Wow. Depends what you can turn on your lathe, isn't it, really?
Sorry?
Depends what you can turn on your lathe, isn't it?
That's true. Yeah, that's true, Andy. It is.
Oh, and Scott's in. Hi, Scott.
Hey, Scott.
The blue light turner. Oh, we haven't picked a word.
Oh, we'll not bother tonight.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
have a sober one.
Okay, in honour of the non-drinker in the house. It's my fault. Matthew Gallagher would turn in. Hello.
Thank you.
Love Angels in, Donna.
Evening, Donna.
64. Richard Phelan.
Evening, Rich.
I apologise if that's wrong. Colin French.
Evening, Colin.
Right, okay, so if anyone says anything other than hi in the chat, I'm trying to read everyone at the moment. So, Robert Lapsley. Whoa. Don't worry, I'll make up my own word. Right, okay. Not sure I'm messing with that. Oh, it's going so fast. Dale, how do you keep up with this on a weekly basis, man?
Deal has difficulty as well once it gets to be quite a few people in.
Hi, Chisky. Is that right?
I think so.
It sounds right. I apologise if that's wrong. Spell it phonetically, and I might get it right. Ooh. Now, would that be the...
This is the speed sizer.
Ooh.
Invented and developed by Chris Fisher, the blind wood turner, and manufactured by Axminster Tools. And my pencil didn't go through far enough.
I do find it amusing that the blind wood turner developed something that the sighted didn't think of that would be a great idea. Not that that's only belittling Chris's ingenuity. Please don't misunderstand me. But there's a heck of a lot of turners, and Chris developed that, and now it's one of the best things since sliced bread.
Yeah, I think it was for Chris, it was a needs must thing.
Well, absolutely, I can understand that. But now everyone's taken to it like a duck to water, which is fantastic for him. Brilliant product. Means it worked.
Yeah.
Totally should have gone to, what do you call them?
Sorry, guys, I'm back. Two of the chickens were refusing to go to bed.
Oh, dear. SK Craft is in the house. Hi, Steve.
Evening, Steve.
Right then.
So I'm just using my small 1/4-inch ball gouge just to clear out.
Necessity is the mother of invention. Stace has asked, what colour are you using tonight, Wayne?
Colour. I am using 2 shades of blue and white.
All right. That's obvious. Hi, things turning.
Evening things. Right, so now I'll get shaped. I'll go back to my 1/2-inch ball gouge. Just doing a bit of a pull cut. And the way I tend to do this, rest the bevel on. I've got the handle quite low down at the steep angle, pressed in towards my thigh, so it's well anchored. And then I just basically turn the tool until it starts cutting. And there we go.
He makes it look so easy every single week.
Well, Wayne, we've got 59 people watching and 27 thumbs up. So, guys, if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up for Wayne, that's if you enjoy what he's doing.
Hi, Fenrica. Oh, it's Steve, isn't it?
I think it is. I'm not too sure.
Oh, Nathan's in.
Nathan's in. Good evening, Nathan.
Ramsdale turning. Christine and Michael are in. Hey, Christine and Michael. Wayne Fennel. You're still in love with the golden flute, then. You're still in love with the golden flute, then, he says.
For some reason, there's 2 holes here. Somebody must have put nails in this at some point.
Oh, yeah.
But it's on the bottom, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You could take a fair old chunk off that, Wayne, with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's mainly because of the amount of torque this machine's got and the size of the motor.
So, Glenn, if you don't enjoy it, you can always give him a thumbs down.
Everyone's just saying hi to everyone at the moment. Won't the water come out? Oh, because of the holes, I'm guessing won't the water come out? It depends where they are, I suppose, Mike. They might be in the side of the bowl.
I'm just checking to see if they actually go all the way through. They don't seem to. Right, I'm just going to do a bit of a final cut on this. A nice, very thin cut, a very fine cut.
Andy T's in. Is that Wayne's way to get the funnel comments ready? Is that Wayne's way to get the funnel comments ready? Ah, right, okay. Totally misread that. Andy T's in the chat.
Evening, Andy.
Maybe a stupid question, but how do you know what size jaws you've got on your chuck?
Right. If you use an Axminster chucks, go to the Axminster jaws, go to the Axminster site, and all of their jaws are lettered with the sizes on as well. So that's basically how you know that. If you're using other chucks rather than Axminster, all you've got to do is measure them. Measure the internal grip and measure the outside grip. Yes, I do, Chisky. I do use an OG sometimes. You could probably call this a reverse OG because I tend to go in, then around, rather than coming around, then out, if you see what I mean.
Good turn. Daly's in. His name's Blair. And Martin Dickinson as well.
Yeah. Oh, Martin's. Yes, Martin. It has got a lovely piece of ripple going through here.
Yeah.
It's just on the one side, but it is very, very nice. I have got enough wood for another, what, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I've got enough wood for another 6 bull blanks, I think. So it'll all have ripple in. I'm just going to take a final cut around the bottom now using my small 1/4 inch ball gouge. Very fine cut.
Ian in the shed's in.
Evening, Ian.
James Cassidy, Wayne, not all accents for Chuck have a letter type description. Oh, okay. Adrian, remember the jaws aren't a proper circle unless they're slightly apart when you measure them. Fully closed gives off a circular shape. It's got 4 pieces missing out of the circle, so it's never going to be a full circle.
Well, aren't they cut?
Depending on what chuck you've got.
Right.
They're cut out of one piece, aren't they?
Yeah. What I'll explain on this other set of jaws. Right. As you can see, now, if I close these jaws up, so they're totally closed, you can actually see on there, I think, that they are not, it's not a total circle you've got there, either on the internal grip or the external grip. It only gets to be a full circle once you start opening them up a small amount. Because all of these jaws are made out of one piece of metal, they're turned out of one piece of metal, and then they're actually cut into 4 pieces. So obviously you've got that space where they've been cut to take into account as well.
Oh, thank you.
I'll be sanding this one to the bottom of this. I'll be sanding the 240 because I will be using Yorkshire grit on the bottom, and I only need to sand the 240.
Thank you, William. That's what I was kind of trying to say. In a roundabout kind of way. Usually 2 meter slitting saw curve. Ooh, check you, Glenn. Well, you should know, to be fair. You've got enough of them, from what I hear.
Glenn's put in, it's usually a 2 meter saw curve that you get on there. Like on the jaws that I've got on, it's the C jaws I've got on, and they go from 65 mil through to 85 mil. I would never consider using the C jaws on probably anything over 70 mil, to tell you the truth. They're getting too far open. Because what happens is, and I'll explain this again on the other chuck, what happens is, once you start opening these up too far, again, you've lost the circle there. So what happens is, in external mode on these, once you open them up too far, you're only gripping on the very outer edge of the jaws, which isn't giving you a very good or very safe grip at all. Rich will tell you about that.
That wasn't my fault. That's Jamie Page condemning me.
Sorry, Rich.
There's chat going on. They're all sort of
They're chatting amongst themselves, really.
yeah, they're sort of like going for it, which is cool.
That's what this is all about.
Yeah.
No, totally.
So Clive has had a little gift from Steve. Eva's dinner's ready.
Eva's eating.
Apparently, Glyn only shows up when you mention Yorkshire Grit, according to Ian.
Yep, he
Oh.
does.
Ooh, that was my mum. Hold on.
Right, there we are.
And Glyn says, I was here before you, Ian.
That's done to 240. I'll just use some spray on acrylic sand and sealer on this. That's the, I don't know if you can see them. That's the 2 holes I was talking about. I don't know. Maybe there's been a label or something on there.
Well, just that character.
It's not going to affect the top at all. At least I don't think it is.
So what's that you're spraying on there then?
It's acrylic. It's chestnut acrylic sand and sealer.
Oh, right. Okay.
And I'm using the acrylic sand and sealer tonight because it was the first one I came to.
Dear persons, may I request that... What?
So does the acrylic sanding sealer take a little longer to evaporate, or
No, because the acrylic and the spray-on sand and sealer, because they are coming from an aerosol, they actually dry very, very quickly.
See you in a bit, Doug.
The wipe-on cellulose sand and sealer, that can take a bit longer to dry.
Ah, right, okay.
Right, now, again, what I would usually do, if I was just putting the finish straight on top of this, I would probably knock this back with one of the Brack sand sheets. Knock it back with one of them, probably the purple one. But I'm using Yorkshire Grit. Using Yorkshire Grit, so it's going to get sanded anyway, although it'll be a wet sand rather than a dry sand, if you know what I mean. So apply it on, the Yorkshire Grit, apply it on while the lathe is stationary. Don't be afraid of using a fair amount. It does need a fair bit on there for it to do its job. And then what you do is turn the speed down. If you can, to around about 250. If you've got a lathe that doesn't go down to 250, do it at the lowest speed your lathe goes at, or you could nip across and watch one of Nick the Flamin' Turner's videos. And what he did a brilliant thing. I'm sure it's a dowel in a drill, which he puts into the back end of the headstock to turn the spindle while he's doing the Yorkshire Grit, and it actually works very well, I've got to say.
Yeah, see, I've got the same lathe as Nick. And what I did is I undid the grub screw and pulled it out on the thread, 10 mil. And the actual, now I've got the handle on the back of the back so I could turn it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, Nick, all Nick did, he got his cordless drill.
Yeah.
He I'm sure it was a wooden dowel that Nick put in there and wrapped some tape around the dowel and jammed into the headstock at the back. Switched the drill on and just turned the lathe very, very slow.
Yeah.
So he could do the Yorkshire Grit.
Oh, I see what you mean now, yeah. So he didn't turn it by hand.
No, he didn't turn it by hand, he used the drill. There you go.
It said in the chat it's an 8mm drill bit with some tape on it. Right.
You keep on working the grit in. You can turn the speed up. Keep on working it in. And what you're trying to do is get it worked in until your paper or whatever it is you use comes away clean. And that shows that all the abrasive has been worn down. So I finished sanding at 240 and using the Yorkshire grit. This is now giving the piece an equivalent sanding of around about 1,000 grit. Wow. There we go. Stick that in the fire pile.
I need to get me some grit. That's what I was going to do at Makers.
I think everybody was waiting until Makers to get the grit, and now everybody's going to have to order it.
Yes.
Right, so I'm just using some Hampshire Sheen High Gloss. It's still the old stuff that I'm using. It's not the food safe stuff. I'll get this used up first before I order some more. And once I finish shining this up, I'll stop for sort of 5 or 10 before I do the paint and just explain what the links in the description are about.
Been there, done that, Nick. Sorry.
So, I mean, there's loads of places to get Yorkshire grit. I was just looking for a link to put on in the chat, but excuse me. Where'd you get yours? Well, you probably get yours straight from Glyn. I take it.
Yeah, I do.
So, where's the best place to get it?
Somebody asked something there. Oh, it's a piece of ash. Somebody had asked what wood it was. It's a piece of ash I'm using tonight.
Where was that? That's gone past so quick. You're keeping. Oh yeah, no, I can see. I pumpkin months. Yandles was good. We'll have to wait for this year, I think. Possibly next year. West Country Machinery, quick delivery.
Yeah, I mean, there's loads of places that supply them. As you can see in the top there, I've got a 67mm Forstner bit, which I just use to drill in the top, and that fits directly onto the C-jaws of the Axminster lathe. Right. The link's in the description that I've got. Phil Bolter tomorrow night. Well, Martin Sabin Smith is doing a live tomorrow night. I think it's the second part in his Lacquering series, which is the second part of 3, I think it is. But directly afterwards, Phil is doing a wood turning quiz. He said it will be on at around about 8:15. I think he said it'd be on. He thought Martin was going to be going on for about 45 minutes. Now, what Phil's doing the quiz for, it's a charity quiz to raise money for the blood bikes. Blood bikes don't get any money from government, national health, or anything like that. So basically, they've got to raise their own cash. They are a charity. I've left a link to Phil's webpage where he explains about blood bikes. I've left a link to a video about blood bikes. And I've also left a link to Phil's Facebook fundraising page as well, if anybody wants to donate. Now, all of the Martin, I just mentioned Martin to the guys earlier on. Usually when Martin's doing a live, he gets over 500 people in and everything, and these super chats tend to go absolutely mental. He is donating all of his super chats tomorrow night to the blood bikes. Now, if you miss tomorrow night, I'm going to miss tomorrow night because I'll be watching Scott. And I would think quite a few others here in the chat are going to be watching Scott as well, the Blue Light Turner his live show tomorrow night. So I'll be watching, but Phil did say to me that obviously when Martin puts it out as a video, the quiz will still be on there, so you can still, take part in the quiz if you like, even though you're not doing it live. So I just thought I'd put that in there. I did say to Phil I was going to give it a mention. So he's not in tonight. He can't come in tonight because he's actually doing a family quiz.
Cool.
So there we go. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to flatten off the top, maybe give it a wee bit of shape, but flatten off the top. I'll get it sanded to 400.
You got a super chat.
I don't know how to donate that. Oh, God, what do you like? You could have just go to his Facebook page and donated. I'll not get that until the end of next month. Anyway, thank you very much, Glenn. I will do that. I'll go on Phil's Facebook page and donate that. Right, just flattening off the top. So yeah, this will get flattened off, maybe a little bit of shape on. Sanded to 400.
Glyn says buy a bottle of wine with it.
Oh, cheers, mate.
Glyn, you're a cheapskate. That's not a particularly great bottle of wine, is it? Come on,
yeah,
Glyn.
but I only drink cheap wine. I can only afford cheap wine. The one thing
Well,
with Glyn,
couple, then.
cheapskate.
Question. Good shout, James. Ah, cool. Question. Wayne mentioned the other night as an idea that I could make jewellery out of a thin square GPS resin squares. The question is, has Wayne made any jewellery?
Oh yeah, loads, James, loads. I used to do a hell of a lot of turned earrings. I used to do earrings that I cut on the bandsaw with a very thin blade, probably a 3/16 blade, something like that. Maybe even a 1/4 inch. No, 3/16. Yeah, 3/16 I've cut with. I don't think I can guarantee a thun on my on the bandsaw I've got now. But I've done loads and loads of jewellery in the past. Yeah.
Glyn saying he'll donate on Phil's thing.
Oh,
and
gee.
he says, I've seen what Wayne drinks. It's Nitromores.
Right, I'm just going to do a finishing cut on this. I've got a bit of tear out there that I want to get rid of.
That's where I get mine. Glenn's and Linden's down at the woodshed. Got the blue light Turner, Phil. He was in the chat. I don't know if he's still here. He's an English turner. He's an ambulance driver, paramedic type man, and all-round lovely guy. So check out his channel. Oh.
Yeah, Scott will be live tomorrow night. He has. I didn't put the link in for that. For the
Let me.
He's got a T-shirt on the go at the moment as well. The Fingers Club T-shirt, which is actually raising money for the family of a colleague of his who died of the coronavirus, and I think for other NHS charities as well. Right, how's that tear out? Oh, just about all gone. I'll give that a quick sand. Again, like I say, I'll be going up to 400 with this sand. You're always best if you're doing any type of colouring to take it fairly fine.
So I'll put the link for the Blue Light Turners video tomorrow night in the chat.
Grand.
And oh no, you didn't know. And I've just put a link to his channel.
Cool.
If that's on the screen, that's right.
Well, that's the will not take long now. Then we start having some fun.
Tiny Turner's in.
Hi, Emma. Let's see what that's like. Grand, that's fine.
Who let the dust fly?
Right, what I will do, seeing as how this is going to get painted, I will just give that a good prop clean off with some meths or denatured alcohol, as the Americans call it. It's actually surprising how much dust comes out of the grain when you do this.
It's just a shame we can't get clear over this country. Yeah.
I don't think it makes that much difference, does it?
Well, I think it does with the shine juice.
Oh, right.
Makes it a bit darker.
Right, so that's all cleaned up. I'll just let that evaporate.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Emma.
Oh. Yep, sorry to hear that, Emma. Only saw that post there. On that comment, I should say.
Yeah, I didn't know if I should read it out or, but
Everybody's seen it anyway.
well, yeah, that's true. 76 watching, mate.
Oh, brilliant!
Nice. And only 51 thumbs up. Come on, guys.
52. Come on, 52.
Right, so that's nicely dried. So on this, since I'm going to be putting paint straight over the top of this, I'm not going to be using Yorkshire grit on the top. I'm putting paint straight on the top of this. I am going to use the orange pad for doing this, the Webrax pad. This has got the equivalent grit of around about 1200, the orange one. It's just to knock the sand and sealer back. I'm using the sand and sealer, if you like, as a primer or an undercoat for the paint to go on. Let's have a look at that. Bit at the edge. Yep, done. Grand. Get all that out of the way. What do I need? Need my palette. Take this off, pop it down like that, and what I'll do, I'll just have a bit of a play about with the overhead camera, seeing as how I moved it. Let's see if I can resize that a wee bit.
It's got a lovely grain in it.
Hasn't it? Yeah.
It's lovely.
The other stuff I'll not be colouring because of the green. Right, so what I'm going to use now, I've got these are all paints that I've got from our local automotive store, which is Halfords over here in the UK. I have got Gadget Blue, which is a light blue. I've got Engine Blue, which is a darker blue. Let's get that way, Wayne. Come on. There you go. That's a darker blue. And I have got Appliance Gloss White. So that's the three paints I'm using. The other thing I'm going to be using as well is water. I'm going to be using some water in this, or on this, I should say. So what I do first, I get the light blue paint, which is the Gadget Blue, and just give it a coating. Let's see if I can move this further this way. Just to again.
While you're doing that, Barry's joined us for Real Simple Things. Martin Dickinson, hey Wayne, it's a shame to cover that Ripley with the paint.
I know, but I didn't have any other blanks, Martin. Yeah. So
this is what it is, mate. It's a piece of wood.
Right, just give this a bit of a shake up. Now, whenever you're spraying paint, you're always as well starting off one side, going across the piece and finishing off the other side. So if ever you are doing this using your lathe bed to do it on, you're always as well having a bit of plywood. As you can see, this bit of plywood has been used loads of times. So I'm just going to put a coating of the light blue on.
Terry Sykes is in.
Evening, Terry.
You've got 80 in now, 81.
Brilliant. See if there's any bits I've missed. Yeah, just there. Right. You can wait and leave this to dry if you want to, but there is no need. So what I'm going to do now is, using my water scoocher, stick some water on there, some water droplets on there. And what you want to try and get is a mixture, if you can, of big droplets and small ones. And if you can't get any big droplets coming out of the scusher, just put some in your hand and drop them on, and you'll start getting big droplets.
Thanks, Baz. Sneak says blue is my favourite colour, so you're on a winner anyway, Wayne.
I'll just have a look at that.
Wow.
Light.
Oh, wow.
Looks great, doesn't it?
It doesn't matter if you get really, really big drops on there either. It all adds to the effect. Right, this is where the magic happens. That's the light one. What you do with the darker blue paint is that I'm just going to, I'll go back to the overhead, but I'm just wanting to show you. Right, that's a bit better. What you do is you come at a very, can I move the camera over a bit?
84, Wayne.
Brilliant.
Ooh.
Right. So what you do is you come in at a very shallow angle, so you're spraying nearly straight across, because what you want to do is just hit one side of the bubble. And it doesn't really matter if you get any underspray on the underneath of the bowl, because it's got wax on there and the paint will come off very easy. So what you do now is you turn the bowl around 180 degrees. So when I spray on the white, I'm spraying onto the clear side of the... Where have I put my flaming white?
It's instant 3D. Great.
So yeah, what happens now is the white goes on the opposite side of the bubble, and that gives the shadow effect.
Wow. Every day's a school day, Rich.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that was a bit much there. If you're not happy with the effect, because on this one here, I've gotten it all over the top. Turn it around again. Stick some more blue on.
Hi, Baz. How you doing, mate?
And you don't have to just put one coat on. If you're not happy with what's happening, change the angle, change the amount you're putting on. Now, I'm fairly happy with that. I'm quite happy with that.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
I'll go back to the overhead so you can actually see the proper effect.
So good.
So that's the effect that you get. Okay. So what happens now is that gets left for however long it takes for the water to evaporate. In cool weather, it's probably going to take 24 hours. You could take it into the house. Now, what can happen sometimes, if it dries too quick, if the water dries too quick, it can actually start cracking the paint will just go down and it'll form crack marks in it. That doesn't really matter, because once you put the lacquer on, all those crack marks get filled in. Okay, I'm just going to move this piece now. This is where the Blue Peter effect is. I'm just going to take this across.
That looked like the moon.
It
The
did,
surface
didn't it?
of the
Yeah, a
moon.
lot of people say that as well. They think it's craters rather than drops. And here's the one I did earlier. I did this one this morning. Left it sitting on one of Jane's shelves at our workstation, so the sun got to it, and it dried it off really nicely. Move that out the way. Move that out the way.
Oh, wow.
Stick that back on the lid.
You're getting lots of blue hearts in the chat so far from a piece of round and brown. So far from a piece of round. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So
Right.
far from a piece of round and brown. Gotcha.
Change camera again. Which one was on side, I think? Yeah, right. So what I'm going to do with this now, it will get lacquered, this one. It'll get lacquered tonight. I'm going to do the dish and get that sanded, sand and sealer on and everything like that. Then I'll do the lacquering, because I'll just lacquer the inside as well. So we'll just get to turning again.
That's
Again, turning at around about 1100 there. And I'm going to make this this is purely decorative. It's all about the bubbles on this. It's all about the water drop. It's not really about the dish. So it'll be a fairly small dish that I'm putting into this.
So, Nick the Flaming Turner has asked a question for you, Wayne.
Yeah.
What's the best colours to use on that, or is blue the best you found that works?
Any colours you like.
Mm.
The only thing I would say is it's got to be a light shade of something, a dark shade of something, and white. I did one last year. It's probably in my photos somewhere on Facebook, which was a lot bigger than this. I think it was nearly 16-inch blank that I used for that one. And it was a commission for a 60th birthday. And I used pink on that one. 2 shades of pink and white. And actually in the dish, at the bottom of the dish, I put a circle of gold leaf in as well. That turned out really smart, that did. So yeah, anything you like, really, Nick. I've got to say, I've got a preference for having the blue. I like the shades of blue.
Might be interesting with shades of grey.
You just read my mind. I was thinking of how to say that.
Right, okay, right. There was a question. Cat asked a question. Not Cat.
Eva
asked the question. What if it leaks water now? You doing it too soon? What happens then? No. Eva, the water's evaporated.
The water's all gone, Eva. The water's all dried out, and the paint is just flattened down onto the light blue coat that I put on.
So Baz says your P45's in the post, Wayne.
No, Baz, I use Yorkshire grit on the bottom.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah.
I might just get furloughed for a while.
Well, that's all right. He's given you a tenner already, so you're all good.
Oh, thank you, Debbie. Just saw what Debbie said then.
Just woke up again and has he been fighting?
The blue effect is the one you've got on your sticker, isn't it, Wayne?
It is, yes. I think that was the first one I did. I did that one out of a piece of elm.
Question: can you show us the paint cans again? Is it auto paint? Yes, it is auto paint, and it comes from Halfords.
I get these from Halfords. It's basically just like it says on the label there, enamel spray paint. I have started using a company called Sprayster, which is an online company. I don't know if one of you guys wants to just quickly have a hunt for that. Sprayster, Sprayster. They do some fairly cheap spray paints. I know Dale doesn't use them. Dale uses a different company for his paints, but Dale tends to use a hell of a lot more paint than I do, to tell you the truth.
I've got the link if you. I'm on it. To check me out. Dale, you'll be proud. There you go.
Right,
link.
and this.
Beat ya.
Yeah, you beat me by 2 comments. Oh,
He's on it.
They're quite cheap. Sprayster.
They got.
I'm not too sure what quality's like, but they're quite cheap. And if you spend over, I was going to say, if you spend over a certain amount, you get free postage, but it's not that. If you spend over a certain, I think if you spend over £26, including the postage, you get free next day delivery.
Yeah, next day's on £24 plus. I might save that actually. Boom.
Chris Sullivan. So just to clarify, is the coloured surface flat?
Yes, the coloured surface is now flat. And just to show you, I'll just rub that dust off. Totally flat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, where is JP?
Don't know, I'll just send them the link.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, it's more like, oh no.
Skyver. I would like to give it a go with black, grey, and white. Stace Makes says so. Just to clarify, yep, we've done that. Black, silver, and white. Eva's saying to be careful with the neon blue. Seems to drive patchy.
Right, I'm just going to put a coat of acrylic sand and sealer on.
Little Woodshed says that's amazing, and you just got another super chat. All right.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cheers, deal.
So Dale's just putting cash in the kitty for when Jaffers when the lockdown lifts.
Yeah, that means he's put the £5 in the kitty so I can go and buy him some Jaffa cakes.
I would go purple and blue. Says cat.
As long as you get something light and dark.
And Baz,
two different shades.
Baz has gone another super chat for you.
Oh, cheers, Barry. Thanks for the super chats, guys. It really is appreciated. And I think anything that I'm getting, I think the super chats and everything.
Baz says, love it, Wayne. Great effect.
Cheers, Barry. I will get some money from YouTube this month, so that's going to be going to buying some new kit for the workshop, either camera stands or something like that. Just want to give this a quick dry with a hot air gun. I'll not bother putting it on its stand. Acrylic sand and sealer dries very fast anyway, so...
Tony, the paints are enamel paints. They're car paints. Cellulose.
And this is one of them things where you've got to touch it to see if it's dry, and you always end up leaving fingerprints. No, that's dry.
The orange theme would be a good Mars landscape. That's an interesting thought, Wayne.
Yeah. I might try a different thing. I might try some hydro dipping next week.
Ooh. No, I know what that is.
Oh, I'm not going to start judging things, Ian.
Are the paints food safe?
No.
That was from the Little Woodshed. Amazing effect. I think I'll have a go, Sharon Chapman says.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing it, so people can see what it's like, so they can have a go.
Mr. Roots is in.
Oh, hi, Ruben.
And Colin Chalmers.
Right, what I'm using now, I'm using Plasticoat Clear Sealer, which is also a lacquer as well. Now, again, if anybody is going to be using lacquer, don't point it straight to the piece and operate the switch. Oh, thank you, Eva.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
You're funny, cracks me up. Yeah, everybody tends to laugh at me, usually for the wrong bloody reasons. Right, again, if you're going to be using the lacquer, start away from the piece, and go across. And don't put too much on. You're much better doing a hell of a lot of very, very thin coats rather than a couple of big coats. If you have too much of this on, it's going to start running and you're going to totally ruin your piece of work. So here we go. I'm going to put one coat on over, just like that. That's it. That's all you need. Cheers, Rich. Thanks very much.
You're welcome. It's a good course.
So I'll give that a quick dry. I'll see if I can get a couple of few coats on this tonight. And also, the other thing to remember, if you are using a hot air gun, point it somewhere else and switch it on before you point it at the piece. Otherwise, you'll end up getting dust all over your piece.
So Wayne Fennell says this should be entitled the Geordie Art School.
Geordie Art School.
Can you tell me the discount code for the Funnel Club t-shirts, please?
Yeah, it's JPW15, Jeff. Yeah, Martin's saying he's too far west for a Geordie. Yes, Martin. That's because I moved.
Oh, Dale beat me to it again. First Andy beat me to it, and then Dale's beat me to it. I'm just not quick enough, am I?
Well, I beat the pair of you to it because I told them.
I need to speed up. The problem is my laptop's like over there.
Radio 999 is asking, do you have a D-nib in this method? What I tend to do is put about 4 coats on. Then I'll probably do a D-nib with the web racks again. Then I'll probably put about another 4 or 5 coats on, and then I'd go and use Yorkshire Grit. I'd use the Yorkshire Grit microfine to knock the lacquer back after I've got about 8 coats on or so. And then I'd put probably a high gloss wax over the top of that. But we'll just get a few coats of the lacquer on for tonight, just so you can see the effect. It's actually going a bit high. Turn it again. That's better.
My heat gun hasn't got a control. It's how close you hold it. Blue Light Turner, you got another super chat?
Sticker.
Oh, thank you, Scott.
Super sticker. Yeah.
How cool
I
is
will be speaking to you tomorrow night. Thank you, Donna.
Scott, we put links to your channel in earlier on. I hope you don't mind. Well, I'm sure you don't. Just letting you know.
Just to let you guys know that if any of you watch my invasions, I'm having trouble downloading from YouTube at the moment. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get one up tomorrow. It's supposed to be Jake Thompson tomorrow, but I just can't download it.
That's just crying out for a Dale comment.
It's going to be Andy tomorrow.
No, it was Jake tomorrow, and then Andy the week after. I mocked up last night by saying it was Andy this week. I mean, I could put the original that I downloaded. I recorded. I could put that up, I suppose, unedited. Yeah, I'll have a look.
Right, another quote. Sorry, Andy, you were going to say something.
Scott, has anyone's Fingers Club t-shirt arrived yet? told mine's been dispatched but not arrived. Want to see one in person. With so many invasions, Rich will need to get tested soon.
I've got to say, on last night, I really enjoyed the interaction at the end.
Yeah, it was great.
Because when it's your usual invasion, there's loads of people in the chat want to ask questions, and sometimes you don't get, you don't get time within the time of the video to get them all in.
That's it. Yeah.
You got another super chat, Tiny Turner. Always wanted to see this live since I first saw the original one you did all that time ago. Learn loads inspiring stuff, Wayne. That's very
cheers, Emma. Thank you very much. Stace, if you've got is there a link to the collab on YouTube yet? Go ahead and mention it anyway, Stace.
I'll see what I can find, Stace. Hold on.
Claire put a comment on YouTube, but I don't know if there's any sort of notification type thing yet.
Whose channel's it on?
It's on all three of theirs.
At the same time?
It's on Soap's and it's on Claire's as well, all at the same time on Saturday.
So if I
right,
go...
for those of you who haven't heard, Stace makes Make It Soap and Claire's Crafty Corner have been doing a collab. Doing a collaboration. It is going out at 5 o'clock Saturday afternoon UK time, and I'm fairly certain it's something that I'm sure Claire put on YouTube and on the wee thing she put on YouTube, that it's a woodworking project that the three of them are doing. So if nothing else, it's going to be a laugh with them three.
Well, I'll put a link to all three channels in the chat. How's that? So
yeah, that's fine.
First one, Stace. First one, Stace makes. So check that one out. Oh wow, Claire. In your shirt. Wow. Okay, this is the link to Claire's channel. And the last one is make it
so Jeff Christie says, love doing these dishes and bowls, Wayne, and you taught me via your video. Thank you.
Oh, cheers, Jeff.
And the last link is Make It Safe. Go check out the Girl Power on Saturday.
Right, I'm going to leave that to dry naturally now, I think. So what I'll do, I'll take... God, is that all the time it is? Oh, well. I'll swap the camera to the overhead. I'll take it off the lathe. Overhead.
That's also known as smashing a project out, that is.
And I will pop it down on the lathe bed so you can have a look. I'll maybe bring it a bit closer up to the camera so you can see the effect. See if I can get the lighting right.
It's lovely, isn't it, that? Oh.
I'm watching on YouTube. Oh, wow. Yeah.
And it's not textured in any way. It's just...
No, it's totally flat. Totally flat.
Yeah. It looks textured, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the whole point. I mean, if you look at it there, I'll put the edge on there. There's no texture on there. Now, what I have got to say is I by no means invented this technique. This was done back in the 70s on the likes of motorbike tanks, motorbike helmets, things like this. I think I got the idea. It was in the Woodturning magazine a few years ago. William Hunt did one. He did his in green. And I basically went from watching William Hunt to start doing them. I just enjoy doing them because everyone's different. You're not going to get the same effect on every one.
Yeah.
Ruby Clare, who is a turner over in Canada, a good friend of Rob Summerlin, I watched a video that she was doing on a Waterdrop bowl, and she said you can't really do it on 3D things. Wrong, you can. I figured this out one time when I was sitting in the living room looking out the window watching it rain. And I don't know if you ever noticed, but when rain hits a window, it automatically run down. It stops, becomes droplets, and then once the droplets are really big, then it starts running. It's the same on car windscreens and things like this. So I did a Waterdrop vase. I did a video that is in one of my videos. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, but I did a Waterdrop vase that actually turned out quite nice as well. So you can maybe want to pop in and have a look at that one. You don't have to do, like I say, you don't have to do it on flat surfaces. I've seen people do it on computer cases and everything.
That's amazing. It's a decorative piece, Adrian. You don't have to necessarily.
Oh yeah, it's purely, unless you want to put some Smarties in the middle, but I wouldn't because it's got lacquer on there. But yeah, it's a purely decorative piece. It can be used or sat like that as a decorative piece. It can be put on the wall. There's a wall hanging.
You're getting loads of cracking comments there, Wayne. It's worth having a peruse yourself at those ones, mate.
Yes, I will do. Right, it's only just gone 9:10, guys. I'm not going to do another turning project, but I think the majority of people who were in here now were in here last night. So if you like, do you want to carry on the Q&A for a wee while?
Oh, yes.
Put your thoughts in the comments. I'll bring up a stool if I can find it. Have a sit down, have a fag, and we'll have a natter. If you've got time, if you want to do that, I don't mind staying. It looks okay, I suppose. Glyn, I love you, mate. You're so enthusiastic.
Scott says how much I want that for his later cabinet.
That's going to have to be a personal message.
PM Scott. Definitely PM for that.
Right. There's Clarion.
Second we drop a link to her channel, she jumps in. Hello.
There's it. Donna's off to make a mama a hot chocolate. So let us know, guys. You want to carry on the Q&A, or should we just have a finish there? I'll bring the other two in. There we are.
So I was just looking for that Waterdrop vase, but I can't see it.
Yeah, it's definitely in there. I definitely did a video of it.
Let me come out of the YouTube then. That's it. Right, cool. Ooh. You don't want to see me smoke the fan?
Well, I'm going to have a fag, so.
Yeah, it's probably best I don't.
So you got 82 people in and 64 thumbs up.
Excellent. I'll get to that 100 one of these days.
One day.
Question from Mike. Mike Koldinsky. What are your thoughts on using a two-way tape for platters dishes?
A two. Oh, I missed that.
Mike Koldinsky. What are your thoughts on using two-way tape for platters / dishes?
Right, 2 ways. Oh, double-sided tape, Mike.
Yeah.
I've used now. I've used double-sided tape, but not on anything too big. If you're doing a thin platter or something like that, you could use the system that I use with the forcing a bit to fit the jaws of your chuck, or you could actually use a waste glue block and hot melt glue. Hot melt glue works brilliant.
Have you seen? Can you see the questions coming up?
They might be coming up a bit late.
Yeah, I'm now back in StreamYard, so
All right, then that'll be really lagging there then.
Yeah.
Question for Rich from Ian. What's your plan for the tree sitting behind you, Rich?
it's a shield. It's
Oh,
like-
this isn't a tree. This is storing oak and shield.
he's Viking. Remember this. See,
Storing oak and shield. No, that's sacrificial inserts for resin bowls. It's going to be anyway.
Emma's saying it's very beardy tonight. it usually is on my lives.
Baz asked a question. Have you sorted the deer yet? I did remember that one from the.
No, I haven't. It's going to hang. I only got that on. It was Monday night. I got that, wasn't it, during Andy's live?
Yep.
Yeah. So it'll get done on Friday. Thank you, Nathan.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Nathan. Is that cool or what?
Yeah, very.
And there's this as well. This is my t-shirt thing that he made for me as well out of lino.
It's a bit rich. That's better.
I've just got to put it on a piece of ply so it's flat when I stamp my t-shirts.
Terry's saying, were you lot in ZZ Top? Well, I certainly wasn't. I can't sing or play the guitar.
And I'm not old enough.
No, me either. I'm younger than both of these two.
Oh, Christine's saying Michael would love to come and do the butchering. Yeah, I enjoy doing that.
Right. Question from Blue Light Turner. Sorry, Baz. Yeah, this is Scott, but I nearly called him Baz.
Right.
So, how much for the water? Oh, right. Okay.
I came well, you did.
Yeah. So
Message him.
PM. Yeah.
Yeah. What's my next project? I can't tell you that.
Mm. It's right.
Emma's saying she would have to get her own beard for our collab.
Everyone's probably wondering why me and you, Wayne, are looking up there. It's because we've both got.
Right, yeah.
big
Sorry,
screen.
if I'm looking at the camera, I apologise. I've got my TV monitor up here, so that's where I'm reading the comments from. I'm not being ignorant, honest.
How can a super Viking be wimp? Cheek.
Who called you a wimp?
Baz.
What does he know?
He's trying to push me. He's goading me. He's goading me. Sadstone. No.
Stace is telling Emma to draw a beard on.
Question for all of you: what is the scariest project you've made?
Scariest.
What, as in scary?
Project. I think mine was the coffin for Halloween
Yeah.
because I actually had to get inside the coffin to scare the kids. So I spent all night in a coffin.
There's a couple of things coming out. I'll get back to them. The scariest thing I ever did was a weeny edge plank of wood on the VB36, which was multiple centers. So that was going everywhere. That was.
My scariest would have been my zombie weapon challenge, which was like one of my first videos on YouTube.
Right, Stuart from Guernsey said, fantastic
Have a
poll.
look.
Thank you, Stuart. Do you do other types of woodwork or just turning? I have done a fair amount of flat work in the past. I have got the machinery to do flat work and a bit of furniture making and stuff like that. I haven't actually done any for years, to tell you the truth.
Matthew Gallagher, wood turning. I wanted to get a sticker board to get a sticker wall together for my workshop. Do any of you guys have stickers? Yes, I do. Just I've got to send some out tomorrow, actually. So look me up on Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah, same.
Dennis is asking, do you have to use acrylic paints? There weren't acrylic paints, Dennis. They are
Enamel.
enamel spray paints. That's what I use for this project. So they're not acrylics, they're enamels. Bought from Halfords. Is Dennis over in Canada? I can't remember if Dennis is over in Canada. If you're over in Canada, Dennis, it's basically any automotive spray.
And Baz, you know what Vikings do in the woods. It ain't building houses. Scariest thing.
The scariest thing he ever turned was a 30-inch walnut bowl. Well, during the summer, sorry, when was that? Earlier on this year? I can't even bloody remember now.
Yeah, it was.
Earlier on this year, a bunch of us got together at Glyn Senior's place and started turning a 36, 37-inch diameter bowl by 12 inches deep. And we turned that.
Steak, they haven't sent your stick. I think that might be Stace.
Or it could be Sneak.
Yeah. I think it might be. I don't think you could get that. I saw the video on that. It was huge. You guys made such a revival of stickers. Yeah.
I've got more than this. I've got them over there. I've got them on my old lathe.
Believe it or not, all my stickers from the last 2 or 3 years are in a bag. Wall space.
That should have said collab, not collar. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I guess that.
Yeah. PM for a sticker or install Facebook. Yeah. Likewise, AH Bespoke. Did you all start before Zametti did? No. He started before me, way before me. He kind of inspired.
Stickers have been out for years, though. I mean, the stickers were going around at UKIS.
Cool. You can tell what comes up most on Claire's spell checker. You guys are doing a great job for Amarillo.
Cheers, Colin.
Thanks, man. We try.
Right, guys.
Yeah.
We're coming up 25 past 9. I usually do. Usually get stuff finished in an hour and a half. So I think we might well call it a night there. I'll just let people see the bowl again. It's a bit dark over here, but
still looks really cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's lovely. I'm going to try this. I'm going to have a go. It's one thing I've never done is that, Wayne. I've played about with it airbrushing on a helmet, but never made a bowl with that.
Yeah,
like you've done.
It's great fun. Thank you, Claire.
I might try that on a canvas. See if it works on a canvas.
It should do, shouldn't it?
It should do, because if you're using enamel spray paint on the canvas, that's going to give it a decent covering, if you see what I mean.
Oh, I've got some I've got some in the workshop right there, and spray paint right there.
That's what you'll be doing tonight, then.
Yep.
That's Martin saying, thanks for the demo. Enjoyed it. Look forward to the next one. Thank you very much, Martin. Stay safe, everybody. He's cutting loose because the kettle's cooked. That was Martin.
Ting
Nice.
Burnings. I can't believe all three of you missed my question for the second time. Go on, then. Hit us
Sorry,
again.
Ting. Ask it again.
Ask us now. You've made a point, so ask us now.
I did, believe it or not, I did that with somebody 2 weeks ago. And Dale and I, it was Dale and I, that it was my life. Dale was doing the earworm, and we missed somebody's question 3 times.
I think there's something in between YouTube and StreamYard where not all the comments come up. 2121 at 2121.
I'll not be able to get that.
Just...
So it is. I'll ask again. Has it got missed? Do any of you use 000 wire wool for denibbing?
No, I've never. Ever since they started bringing out the WebRack stuff, and usually for denibbing, it's usually 40 wire wool you should use. It's a lot finer anyway. But you're much better off using the WebRacks. You've got less chance of being injured. You've got less chance of the wire wool actually staying on the piece. Now, that's the reason I don't use it.
I would never use wire wool anywhere near a lathe. No chance whatsoever. I know people do, but I just wouldn't.
Yeah, Deal's actually saying there, when you've got more than 40 people in the chat, it's very hard to track the question.
Yeah, we are trying, guys. I mean, we've actually upped on the co-hosting for Wayne because we noticed that last week. So we're doing stuff about it. So bear with us. You know, we are trying.
And like I've said before, if you are friends on Facebook with me, or if you follow me on Instagram, what I do with my videos with the lives, I go back and watch it and I read through all the comments, and usually I can pick out the ones that I've missed, and I will get in touch with people just to either answer questions or see what they were wanting to know. So I do that. I don't tend to leave guys hanging about in the wind and thinking, oh, that ignorant bastard. Oops, I swore. I did it again.
Oh, I knew it was coming.
You said you weren't going to.
Yes, I said I wasn't going to. Yeah, Emma's saying there in the chat as well. A lot of people do use the wire wool. Lots don't. She isn't too keen because it breaks down into little metal fibers, can dirty your work, as well as everything else. It is useful for some types of flat work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but spinning on a lathe, you know, I just don't like it, because what if you get
I much prefer this will just tear, as you can see.
Yeah.
You know, it'll just tear and fly off into the distance, so it's a hell of a lot safer.
I use the green ones, Wayne.
It's different grades, Rich. The green ones are, let me get this right. Green ones are around about 240. The purple ones are around about 600. The orange ones are around about 1200. And the white ones are around about 2000. So that's the equivalent grits on them.
Yeah.
On the different ones.
I think I got some white ones, Rich.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah, the white ones work well on resin.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Oh, me.
We've got some 4-inch sanding pads with web racks on.
Oh, I've got some of those.
if there's a brown one from a different company, because this is the equivalent grip of 280. This one is.
That way. That way.
Cool.
That way. See those discs? There's Thomas. See them? Underneath the... Oh, I'm going to have a look what they are now.
Up saying he uses wood shavings all the time. A hell of a lot of people use wood shavings.
Oh. These don't say anything on them.
Yeah, Adrian has said, Terry from Chestnut says to use them in the order of grow. Green, red, orange, white. And white basically just, yeah, like I said, it's very fine, the white one, so that does just buff.
No, that's good to know.
That is actually a really good way of remembering, isn't it?
Yeah.
I might write that down because I'll even forget that.
White just buffs, no sanding effect.
Cool.
Yeah, I use shaving sometimes. It works really well.
A lot of people use shavings. They used to be used all the time. Everybody, I would think, just about everybody, when I started turning, used shavings for buffing down and things like this. Right, guys, if there's nothing else, I think I'll call it tonight, Wednesday. So that's it, guys. We're going to end the live there. It's been brilliant having you all in. I'm really chuffed to bits. There was 80 odd in the chat tonight. Much appreciated, and a big thank you to everybody who's done this. I'm getting poked in the nose by them too. So
stay there.
I'll be back on Friday lunchtime. I don't think there's a live tomorrow lunchtime because Dale isn't failing at the moment. So I'll be back on Friday anyway, and I'll be probably in with Scott tomorrow night. And Dale saying, hit the bloody button. Bye.